What did a neuroscientist and a mystic from the 1950s discover in common that's transforming thousands of lives across America right now? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 4-step system based on cutting-edge neuroscience that transforms limiting beliefs into powerful manifestations in just 21 days. Ordinary people from all walks of life are using this method to manifest everything from unexpected job promotions to profound relationship transformations, creating lives they once thought impossible. Before we continue, stop for a second and notice. What would you be doing right now if you genuinely believed you could manifest anything? Would you still be in the same job? Living in the same place? Surrounded by the same people? Think about that for a moment. The gap between your current reality and that answer represents the invisible prison of your limiting beliefs. Today I'm revealing 3 manifestation secrets that drive Joe Dispenza and Neville Goddard discovered independently, decades apart. The first will completely change your understanding of how your brain manifests reality. The second will explain why your previous manifestation attempts may have failed despite your best efforts. And the third, which I'll only reveal near the end, is so powerful that many considered it impossible until they saw the results with their own eyes. Most people don't realize they're building mental prisons brick by brick with every negative thought that passes through their mind. Take Jim Carrey, for example. When he was a struggling comedian, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and carried it in his wallet as a daily reminder of his dream. Incredibly, just before Thanksgiving 1995, he learned he would be paid exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. This wasn't mere coincidence. As Dr. Joe Dispenza demonstrated in his extensive neuroscience research, our brains create literal neural pathways for our repetitive thoughts, whether positive or negative. These pathways become superhighways of electrical activity, determining what we notice, how we feel, and ultimately what we manifest in our lives. And as Neville Goddard taught decades earlier, you are literally what you believe yourself to be. Their discoveries, though separated by time and approach, point to the same profound truth about human consciousness. Here's the first secret. Your brain cannot distinguish between a real experience and one vividly imagined. This is the neural key to manifestation that changes everything. When you vividly visualize your desire as already fulfilled with emotional intensity, your brain creates the same neural circuits it would create if you were actually experiencing it in physical reality. The neurons that fire together wire together, literally restructuring your brain. Think about that for a second. You literally have the power to create brain circuits for experiences that haven't happened yet in physical reality but are already complete in your consciousness. Dr. Joe Dispenza's groundbreaking research reveals that 95% of our decisions, behaviors, and emotions are made by the subconscious mind, programmed primarily by past experiences before the age of 35. These programs create what Goddard insightfully called habitual states. Thought patterns that automatically repeat themselves like a record stuck in a groove, keeping us trapped in cycles of limitation. Pause now and try to identify, what negative thought have you repeated most often today? I can't afford that. I'm not good enough. That's impossible for someone like me. Each of these thoughts is a brick in your mental prison, reinforced every time you think it. The good news? What can be programmed can be reprogrammed. Research in neuroplasticity shows that repeated thoughts create preferred neural pathways in your brain, just like water repeatedly flowing down the same trail eventually creates a river. These pathways determine what possibilities you can perceive and what actions feel available to you. Goddard called this dwelling in a state. When your mind resides so much in a particular thought pattern that it becomes your reality, regardless of external circumstances. Will Smith, one of Hollywood's most successful actors, has publicly declared he uses visualization to manifest success for each film before he even begins shooting. In my mind, I've never been beaten, Smith explains. I've never lost a fight, I've never failed. He visualizes the completed film, the audience reactions, even specific scenes, with such vivid detail that his mind cannot distinguish between the visualization and the eventual reality. This practice has helped him become one of the highest-paid actors in the industry. Let's do a quick exercise to prove this power to yourself. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Vividly imagine a situation where you recently failed or felt rejected. Notice how your body physically reacts to that thought. Perhaps tension in your shoulders, a knot in your stomach, or a change in your breathing, even though it's just a memory being replayed in your mind. Now we'll do the opposite. We'll use that same power for your benefit. Close your eyes again and vividly imagine achieving your biggest goal, feeling the emotions of that accomplishment, seeing the smiles on loved ones' faces, hearing the congratulations. What did you feel? This is tangible proof that your thoughts create your biological state. Your heart rate, hormone levels, and nervous system respond to mental images as if they were reality. This isn't mystical thinking. It's neurobiological fact documented in countless studies. Dr. Dispenza discovered that the alpha brain state, 8 to 12 Hz, achieved during meditation or the twilight state between wakefulness and sleep, is ideal for subconscious reprogramming. In this state, the critical, analytical mind relaxes its guard, allowing new programming to reach the subconscious. Coincidentally, Neville Goddard called this state conscious sleep, and claimed it was the most powerful moment for manifestation work. This is the same state that Olympic athletes access for mental rehearsal and that experienced meditators achieve for maximum mind-body coherence. Now that you understand how your brain creates your reality through these neural mechanisms, let's move to the powerful 4-step system that breaks your limitations and installs new, empowering beliefs directly into your subconscious mind. The second step of this system is so counterintuitive that many participants in Dr. Dispenza's workshops initially resist it, until they see the remarkable results in their own lives, often within days. And the most incredible part? It perfectly aligns with what Goddard taught over 70 years ago about the power of the spoken word, suggesting a universal principle at work. Prepare yourself to leave behind everything you thought you knew about manifestation. The truth is both simpler and more profound than most law of attraction teachings have led you to believe. Before we dive into the blueprint that will transform your neural pathways, let me share a documented story that demonstrates its power. Anita Moorjani was diagnosed with end-stage lymphoma. After years of battling cancer, her organs were shutting down, and doctors gave her only hours to live. During what should have been her final moments, she had a profound near-death experience that completely transformed her understanding of reality. Upon returning to consciousness, she began intensively applying visualization techniques similar to our blueprint. Within weeks, her cancer had vanished completely, leaving doctors baffled. Medical scans confirmed a complete absence of cancer cells where tumors had been present just days before. This isn't coincidence or miracle. It's the precise application of the 4 steps you're about to learn, working through the biological mechanism of neuroplasticity combined with quantum consciousness. The same principles that healed Anita's body can rewrite your financial situation, transform your relationships, or resurrect a dying career. What would happen if you applied this same power to your current biggest limitation? Let's find out by exploring the 4-step blueprint in detail, combining the scientific insights of Dr. Dispenza with the timeless wisdom of Neville Goddard. Step 1 is written in coding, physically writing your intention in present tense as though it's already accomplished. Dr. Dispenza explains that the act of writing engages more neural networks than simply thinking, creating stronger memory traces in your brain. When you write, I am statements in present tense, you're essentially giving your nervous system new operating instructions. Neville Goddard explained that writing clarifies thought and programs the subconscious more deeply than mental rehearsal alone. The physical act of writing converts nebulous thoughts into concrete language, making them more real to your nervous system. For example, instead of writing, I will overcome my shyness, write, I communicate confidently and authentically in all situations. Instead of I will attract more money, write, I am a money magnet, attracting abundant financial opportunities effortlessly. The present tense is crucial because your subconscious mind doesn't understand future tense. It only operates in the eternal now. Have you noticed how something you write by hand is easier to remember later than something you merely read? This is because writing engages multiple sensory pathways simultaneously, creating richer neural connections around the information. Step 2 is internal processing, silently reading your intention multiple times while feeling the emotional reality of it. This process activates what Dr. Dispenza calls salience networks in the brain, marking your intention as important and worthy of the brain's limited attentional resources. This step works by directing your brain's reticular activating system, RAS, to notice opportunities aligned with your intention while filtering out distractions. When properly executed, your brain literally begins perceiving a different reality, not because the world has changed but because your filtering system has been recalibrated. Goddard called this practice inner dialogue, and considered it essential for impressing the subconscious. He taught that silent repetition creates a feeling of familiarity with your desired state, making it feel more natural and therefore more achievable. Jim Kwik, world-renowned brain coach, used mental repetition to overcome severe brain limitations after a childhood accident left him with learning disabilities. By repeatedly telling himself, "My brain is a supercomputer, and learning is easy and fun," he rewired his neural pathways, eventually becoming one of the world's foremost experts on accelerated learning and brain performance. Here's the second secret. Emotion is the switch that turns your manifestation on or off. Without emotional intensity, your manifestations remain theoretical. Dr. Dispenza demonstrated in laboratory settings that without elevated emotion, your intentions never penetrate the analytical mind to reach the subconscious. Brain scans show that emotionally charged thoughts create far stronger neural connections than analytical thinking alone. Your emotions are the energy that brings your thoughts to life. Goddard called this feeling it real. When you combine thought with intense emotion, manifestation becomes inevitable because you're changing your energy field at a quantum level. What you feel, he wrote, you attract and manifest. This explains why intense emotions like fear often manifest quickly. They carry tremendous emotional charge. This is why many visualization attempts fail. They lack emotional fuel. You can't manifest from a place of emotional flatness or intellectual detachment. The universe responds to your energetic broadcast, not your words. Step 3 is auditory amplification, reading your intention aloud with conviction. Your voice creates physical vibrations that your entire body registers. Something Dr. Dispenza explains creates psychophysiological coherence, alignment between your thoughts, feelings, and physical state. The sound vibrations of your own voice carry unique frequency patterns that your body recognizes and responds to more powerfully than any other voice. Speaking your intentions aloud also engages the auditory processing centers of your brain, adding another sensory dimension to your manifestation work. Goddard insisted that hearing what we desire creates a deeper impression on the subconscious than silent reading alone. He taught his students to create auditory hallucinations, hearing congratulations from others, sounds associated with their desire fulfilled, or their own voice confirming their new reality. Step 4, the final step, is visual integration, vividly visualizing your intention as already fulfilled in first-person perspective. Use all senses. See through your own eyes the scene of your desire fulfilled, hear the sounds in that moment, feel the emotions and physical sensations, smell and taste the experience if relevant. Dr. Dispenza calls this creating memories of the future. Installing pre-recordings of future experiences into your brain as though they've already happened. These manufactured memories create neural pathways that your brain then works to validate through your behavior and perception. Goddard called this practice living in the end, mentally dwelling in the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it hardens into fact. He taught that persistent first-person visualization eventually creates a bridge of incidents, seemingly coincidental events that lead inevitably to your desire manifesting. When you visualize your desire as already fulfilled with emotional intensity, your brain releases the same neurochemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, it would release if the event were physically occurring. This creates a powerful biochemical state of receptivity that dramatically accelerates manifestation. In the next chapter, I'll reveal the exact 21-day protocol that transforms these 4 steps into real changes in your life. The same protocol that caused unexplainable results in workshops around the world, from spontaneous healings to life-changing synchronicities that defy statistical probability. After studying thousands of successful manifestations, Dr. Dispenza discovered that 21 days is the ideal period for new neural pathways to become dominant enough to override old patterns. This time frame allows for the creation, reinforcement, and consolidation of new neural networks while old ones begin to weaken from disuse. Remarkably, this is precisely the same period that Neville Goddard recommended for his assuming the state techniques until they became second nature, decades before modern neuroscience confirmed why this time frame works. Think about this profound reality. In just 3 weeks of consistent application, you can literally rebuild the neural architecture of your brain. The same brain that once automatically generated thoughts of limitation will begin automatically generating thoughts of possibility and abundance. The protocol I'm about to share integrates cutting-edge neuroscience with time-tested manifestation principles, creating a system that works regardless of your background, education level, or past struggles with manifestation. It's designed to work with your brain's natural mechanisms rather than fighting against them. Start each morning with 10 minutes of guided meditation inspired by Dr. Dispenza's techniques. This creates the ideal brain state for reprogramming by calming the analytical mind and activating the subconscious. Begin by focusing on your breath, then gradually shift your awareness to the space around your heart. Feel a sense of gratitude expanding from your heart center, as gratitude has been shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and create ideal conditions for neuroplasticity. Follow this heart-centered state with applying the 4 steps to a specific intention. Write it, read it silently, speak it aloud, and visualize it as complete, all while maintaining that elevated emotional state of gratitude and certainty. Finish with Goddard's powerful affirmation, "I am what I desire to be," while feeling the absolute reality of that statement in every cell of your body. What would happen if you invested just the first 10 minutes of each day programming your brain for success, before emails, news, and social media could install their programming? Most people reach for their phones within minutes of waking, exposing their freshly receptive brains to a barrage of negative news, social comparison, and stress-inducing information. By taking control of these critical first moments, you're claiming your power as the deliberate creator of your life. During the day, use pattern interrupts whenever you notice limiting thoughts arising. Your brain has developed automatic negative thought patterns that will continue to surface during this rewiring period. Don't fight them, that only strengthens the neural connections. Instead, Dr. Dispenza recommends a deep breath with focus on the heart area to instantly change your neural state, following with a redirect to your new empowering belief. Goddard suggested mental revisions. Imaginatively revisiting challenging situations or negative thoughts and reimagining them with positive outcomes. This doesn't just make you feel better. It actually rewrites how the experience is encoded in your brain, weakening negative neural pathways and strengthening positive ones. Oprah Winfrey, one of the world's most successful media personalities, has publicly attributed a significant part of her unprecedented success to the daily practice of visualization and gratitude. "The greatest discovery of all time," she states, "is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude." She has described writing down 5 things she's grateful for every day and visualizing her desired outcomes before they happen, applying these exact principles throughout her journey from poverty to becoming a billionaire media mogul. Before sleep, your brain naturally enters the ideal alpha/theta state for deep reprogramming. These precious moments before sleep offer unparalleled access to your subconscious mind. Apply the 4 steps again with special emphasis on the visual component, imagining with full sensory detail your desire already fulfilled. Experience it in first person, not watching yourself from outside but seeing through your own eyes. Dr. Dispenza explains that during sleep your brain consolidates the new neural pathways you've been building while clearing out metabolic waste that accumulates during waking hours. This literal brain cleaning process helps cement your new programming while you rest. Goddard called this practice sleeping in the state, and considered it the most powerful moment of the day for manifestation work. When you program your subconscious before sleep, it works for you during the next 8 hours. Your brain will continue strengthening these new pathways even while you're unconscious, accelerating your transformation. Many workshop participants report vivid dreams related to their intentions during this 21-day period, a sign that the subconscious is actively processing the new programming. UFC champion Conor McGregor has repeatedly demonstrated the power of these principles in the most challenging physical arena possible. He used intensive visualization to predict exactly how he would win his fights, often describing the precise round and method of victory months before the actual fight. In numerous interviews, he describes feeling the championship belt around his waist long before he ever won it. The fascinating thing is that he was using the same principles we're discussing, without ever having heard of Dispenza or Goddard. He intuitively discovered what these masters teach. This is compelling proof that these principles are universal. They work regardless of whether you believe in them, understand them, or even know you're using them. They operate based on neurobiological and quantum mechanisms that function whether or not you're consciously aware of them. Before revealing the third and most powerful secret, I need you to understand what really happens when you overcome your mental limitations. Dr. Dispenza has documented transformations in his workshops that defy conventional medical explanations: stage 4 cancers disappearing, incurable genetic conditions reversing, and profound psychiatric disorders resolving, often after just a week of intensive application of these techniques. Goddard described this phenomenon as the bridge of incidents, seemingly miraculous events and synchronicities that align perfectly to manifest your desires, often in ways your logical mind could never have planned. When you hold the end result with emotional certainty, the universe orchestrates circumstances beyond your conscious control to bring it into reality. And this leads me to the third secret, which explains why some people manifest instantly while others wait years for the same result. The critical difference that separates masters of manifestation from perpetual dreamers. Here's the third and most powerful secret. Manifestation doesn't depend on what you want but on who you become. The outer world is merely a reflection of your inner state of being. Dr. Dispenza explains that when you change your energy signature and become the person who has already achieved your desire, you automatically attract that reality through quantum entanglement. His research shows that when participants reach a certain threshold of embodiment, actually feeling themselves as their future self rather than just visualizing it, manifestation accelerates dramatically. This represents a fundamental shift from manifestation as getting something to manifestation as becoming someone. Goddard called this assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. When you fully embody your desire as already fulfilled, living from that consciousness rather than reaching for it, it must manifest in physical reality because your energy field has already transformed. This is the true meaning of be the change you want to see. A deep identity transformation that precedes external change. Most manifestation efforts fail because people maintain their current identity while trying to get something new, creating an energetic contradiction that cancels out their efforts. Stop now and ask yourself, who would I be if I had already manifested my greatest desire? How would I think? How would I feel as I move through my day? What would my posture be like? How would I speak? What would my priorities be? Feel that identity fully, allowing yourself to embody this new way of being for a few moments. Now let's explore how to apply this blueprint specifically to transform the major areas of your life using both Dispenza's scientific framework and Goddard's manifestation principles. For financial abundance, Dr. Dispenza teaches that we must create a new electromagnetic signature that broadcasts prosperity rather than lack. This involves identifying and releasing the emotional attachments to financial struggle, often unconscious beliefs instilled during childhood, and replacing them with a coherent signal of abundance. The four-step process applied to wealth might look like, I am financially abundant with money flowing to me through expected and unexpected channels. Written. Read this silently while feeling the security and excitement of abundant resources. Speak it aloud with confidence and conviction. Then visualize checking your bank account and seeing a balance that delights you, receiving unexpected checks in the mail, or opportunities arising that boost your income. Goddard affirmed that feeling wealthy internally must precede external wealth. He taught that to attain the feeling of success, you must feel successful. Your self-concept around money is literally creating your financial reality through the behaviors, opportunities, and circumstances it attracts. Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin Group, visualized his success in meticulous detail long before Virgin became a global brand. In his autobiography, he describes creating vivid mental pictures of his airlines, record stores, and various businesses as enormous successes when they were still struggling startups. He physically embodied the confidence, decisiveness, and visionary thinking of a billionaire entrepreneur decades before becoming one. Have you noticed how genuinely prosperous people have a distinctly different energy regarding money? They make financial decisions from a place of confident abundance rather than fearful scarcity. This energetic difference is the key to transforming your financial reality. For relationships, Dr. Dispenza explains that we become emotional magnets that attract relationships mirroring our dominant emotional state. If you feel unworthy internally, you'll attract people who reinforce that unworthiness. When you transform your self-concept to one of complete worthiness and love, you magnetically draw relationships that match this frequency. Goddard taught that you only find in life what you have already found within yourself. Your relationship experiences are externalized versions of your relationship with yourself. The four-step protocol applied specifically for harmonious relationships involves embodying the feeling of being deeply loved, respected, and cherished before any external evidence appears. Write, I am in a loving, supportive relationship that brings out my best self. Or adapt to your specific desire. Process this internally, feeling the emotional reality of being cherished. Speak it with conviction. Visualize specific interactions with your ideal partner. Feeling the emotions, hearing loving words, experiencing the comfort and joy of this relationship is already established. How would it feel to feel completely loved and valued right now before any external evidence? This feeling state is what manifests the relationship, not the endless searching, dating apps, or desperate longing that most people engage in. For health and vitality, Dr. Dispenza has documented numerous cases of healing that defy conventional medical explanations through these techniques. His research shows that when people create the emotional state of being already healed, their bodies begin a comprehensive self-healing process that can reverse even incurable conditions. The blueprint applied to health involves focusing on the specific feeling of wellness rather than fighting against illness. Right, I am vibrantly healthy with abundant energy flowing through every cell. Process this feeling internally, speak it confidently, and most importantly, visualize and feel your body functioning perfectly, cells regenerating, systems in harmony, energy abundant. Goddard reported numerous stories of physical transformations through the power of conscious imagination, teaching that the body is moved by emotion. Your cells are constantly responding to your thoughts and feelings, with researchers documenting how different emotional states trigger different immune responses, hormonal cascades, and genetic expressions. Olympic swimming legend Michael Phelps used intensive visualization as a central part of his training regimen, mentally rehearsing perfect races thousands of times before physically swimming them. His coach Bob Bowman revealed that Phelps would visualize every detail: the feel of the water, the sound of the crowd, even potential problems, and how he would overcome them. This mental preparation was so effective that when a goggle malfunction occurred during the 2008 Olympics, something he had visualized handling, Phelps still won gold and set a world record despite swimming essentially blind. What if your body responded more to your beliefs about it than to your genetics or circumstances? The emerging field of epigenetics strongly suggests this is the case, with research showing that your perception and interpretation of events influences which genes are expressed and which remain dormant. The blueprint can also transform your career and purpose. Many people feel trapped in unfulfilling jobs because they identify as someone who needs this paycheck, rather than someone who does meaningful work they love. By applying the 4-step process to career transformation, you replace the old identity with a new one centered around purpose and contribution. Right, I am engaged in fulfilling work that utilizes my unique gifts and provides abundant compensation. Process the feeling of purposeful engagement and contribution. Speak it with conviction. Visualize yourself in this ideal work situation. Engaged, appreciated, making an impact, and receiving appropriate rewards. Dr. Dispenza points out that career transformation often happens through synchronicity, coincidental meetings, unexpected opportunities, and sudden insights that seem orchestrated. These aren't random but are attracted by your coherent intention and elevated emotional state. The beauty of the 21-day protocol is that it works simultaneously across all life areas, creating a comprehensive transformation rather than isolated improvements. As your self-concept shifts, every aspect of your external reality reorganizes to match this new internal state. How will you know when the process is working? Look for these signs: increased synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, vivid dreams related to your intentions, moments of inspiration or creative insight, emotional shifts toward gratitude and excitement, and most tellingly, small manifestations that prove the process is working before your major desire appears. Now let's integrate this complete blueprint into your life with specific next steps for the coming 24 hours to initiate immediate results. Tonight before sleep, select your primary intention and write it clearly in present tense. Process it emotionally, speak it aloud, and visualize it complete as you drift to sleep. Tomorrow morning, repeat this process before checking your phone or consuming any media. Begin the 21-day challenge with realistic expectations. The first week often brings subtle shifts in emotional state and small synchronicities. The second week typically brings more noticeable external changes and clearer insights. By the third week, significant manifestations often appear, sometimes in unexpected but delightful forms. Remember that the evidence of your manifestation may appear first as opportunities rather than completed results. Be alert to unusual invitations, new connections, or sudden inspirations. These are often the bridge of incidents leading to your desire fulfilled. What would you do if you knew with 100% certainty that this method would work for you? That certainty itself is part of the manifestation process, so cultivate it deliberately through these practices. Let's recap the 3 transformational secrets we've explored. First, your brain cannot distinguish between a real experience and one vividly imagined with emotional intensity. Second, emotion is the switch that turns your manifestation on or off. Without elevated emotion, nothing significant changes. Third, manifestation doesn't depend on what you want but on who you become. The outer world simply reflects your inner state of being. These principles have been validated both by Dr. Dispenza's rigorous scientific research and by Goddard's intuitive wisdom shared decades earlier. Their alignment across such different approaches and time periods suggests we're dealing with fundamental truths about consciousness and reality. As Dr. Dispenza powerfully states, the moment you decide that anything is possible is the moment when you are absolutely correct. This isn't motivational fluff. It's a statement about the nature of consciousness and its relationship to physical reality. When you remove the limitations from your mind, you literally remove them from your experience. And in the immortal words of Neville Goddard, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the world reorganize itself to express that feeling. Your consistent embodiment of a new state of being creates a resonant field that rearranges physical circumstances to match it. Why wait for external circumstances to change when you can create your reality from the inside out, beginning right now? The most powerful moment for transformation is always this present moment, the only point where consciousness can affect reality. Start today with the first day of the 21-day protocol. Select your most important intention and apply the 4-step process morning and night. Catch yourself when old thought patterns arise and gently redirect to your new chosen state. Watch for synchronicities and acknowledge even small manifestations as evidence of your growing power. Imagine where you'll be just 3 weeks from now when your new neural pathways are consolidated and your electromagnetic signature has shifted. The person you'll be then already exists as potential. Your job is simply to step into that identity now, collapsing time and bringing that future self into your present experience. As Goddard would say, what you do today is infinitely more important than what you would do tomorrow. The seeds of your future reality are planted in each present moment through your consciousness. The journey of transformation begins with a decision, and that moment is now. Your life is waiting to be consciously created rather than unconsciously lived. The power has always been within you. These practices simply help you access and direct it with precision and purpose. Thank you for engaging with this blueprint for brain reprogramming. May it serve as your guide to shattering limiting beliefs and manifesting your greatest desires through the magnificent power of your own consciousness. Wow, you've tapped into the law of attraction. Feel that positive energy? This video found you for a reason. Let's amplify it together. Subscribe to manifest more life-changing content. Like to send positivity back to the universe. Share with someone you care about. You'll both benefit. Comment below with your thoughts or questions. Your engagement grows our community. Next video, I'll reveal a secret to manifest desires faster. Don't miss it. Join our vibrant community of manifestors. Let's co-create an incredible reality together. Your journey to unlimited abundance starts now. I believe in you.